couple of months ago we started a mystery bus tour from Buchanan bus station right here. Today we are doing it again. The only difference is it's not cold and it's not dark. So we loved it so much that we decided to give another go. So without further ado, let's go on the bus and see where it takes us. And it's the same seats again. 2C, 2D.
Put up to Glasgow to pick you up. Do you know what I heard from behind me? Don't pick them up. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Did you get a warm welcome when you came on? Oh well, that's not so bad then. I'm David, you're stuck with me today, tomorrow. Oh, I know. I was going to say it could be worse, but I'm not actually that sure it could be.
I could.
Give me a wee minute till we got to the motorway, right? Then I'll let you know a wee bit more about your safety features. Ooh.
What motorway is that?
I've been getting drilled for information already. I told them I wasn't picking up in Hamilton, and then all of a sudden that's we're not going to Hamilton, the red strings are out now. Oh, so we're not going past Hamilton, are we? Oh. Caledonian is now come into the 21st century and there's now Wi-Fi available on the coach. Yeah. I want you to take a wee look around for me, and I want you to find your closest stranger, and I want the two of you to kind of lock eyes. Like I really want you to stare each other out for me, because I know what yous are like. Ever since yous have got on this bus, yous have been giving each other the side eye. Look at them sitting there like Lord and Lady Muck. Introduce yourself to your nearest stranger for me. See, there's a really horrible bit out of the way now. These are all the best of friends now. The good thing about these wee coach trips is you meet other weirdos like yourself that think it's a great idea to pile onto a bus with no idea where it's going to end up. I'm going to shut up and go back to sleep now for 10 minutes.
Our bus driver David was an absolute character, always joking, always keeping everyone in good spirits. He really made this trip extra special, and honestly, he's one of the best drivers we've had so far. Up at Gretna, there is a KFC and Burger King over there, but it's only open at 10 o'clock. So keep in mind.
Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside.
I think we're going to go to Liverpool.
Do you just want to know? Aye, I bet you do. I'm still not telling you.
Looks like we're heading south again on the same road. And if it's the same destination, I'm absolutely fine with that. But our guesses turned out to be wrong. After a few hours on the road, we arrived in the beautiful town of Windermere, right in the heart of the Lake District. We are in Windermere, right in the heart of the English Lake District. This area is famous for its stunning landscapes, peaceful lakes and beautiful countryside. It's one of the most popular holiday destinations in the UK. We actually visited Windermere about 16 years ago, but only for a couple of hours. And it was in the middle of summer. It was so packed that it was even hard to move along the street. Coming back now in March, it feels completely different, much calmer and more relaxed. I would definitely recommend visiting these small places in off-season. It's just so much more enjoyable. Fewer crowds, more space and much more nicer atmosphere. And I was actually really surprised when I found out how many people visit Windermere every year. If I told you it's around 7 million visitors annually, would you believe me? But it's true. And the whole Lake District attracts around 17 to 18 million people a year. So Windermere is right at the center of all that tourism. Windermere is actually the largest natural lake in England. It's about 18 kilometers long and surrounded by hills, forest and charming little villages. You will see lots of boats here, ferries, sailing boats and little cruises taking visitors around the lake. People come here all year round for walking, hiking, boat trips and just to enjoy the scenery. One of the most famous writers connected to this area is Beatrix Potter, who lived not far from Windermere and created the beloved character Peter Rabbit. Because of that, you will find lots of little shops here selling souvenirs, soft toys, artwork, and all kind of things inspired by Peter Rabbit and his friends. There is even a dedicated attraction, the World of Beatrix Potter. The admission fee is quite pricey, but if you are a fan of Peter Rabbit or traveling with children, I think it could really make your day special. This area also inspired the famous poet William Wordsworth, one of the key figures of English Romantic poetry. He spent much of his life in the Lake District and wrote about the beauty of nature, lakes, mountains, and quiet countryside, which you can still experience here today. It's easy to understand why people fall in love with this place. Calm waters, green hills, fresh air. And after living in Scotland for many years, it's always interesting for me to explore other places in the UK, and Lake District definitely has its own special charm. You can see lots of tourist boats right now on the lake, but imagine that hundreds of years ago, during very cold winters, the entire lake sometimes froze solid, and people even walk or skate across it. Unlike many deep lakes, Windermere has its own legend. Some people claim there is a mysterious creature living in the water, but for now I can only see geese and swans. Another interesting fact: during the World War II, the Lake District played a role of training pilots. Part of Windermere were even used for testing seaplanes. After a short walk around Windermere, we decided to pop into a local pub, the Angle Inn, just for a quick drink before heading to our next destination. The place was really lovely inside, with quite an interesting interior, so it was really enjoyable to spend half an hour here. The prices were quite reasonable too. And we're off again to our next destination for the night. We arrived in Southport, and on the way to our hotel, the streets and houses looked really lovely. This is where we're staying tonight, Prince of Wales Hotel. After dinner, we went out for a short evening walk, and even though the town looked charming during the day, at night it felt quiet and not very lively. So after a quick walk, we decided to head back to our hotel and call it an early night. And now here's our review of the hotel. To be completely honest, the reviews on TripAdvisor is not great at all. Many guests mentioned dated rooms, cleanliness issues, and sometimes quite noisy surroundings. That said, people do appreciate the central location, the historic buildings, and of course the low price. But quite a few visitors said they've been had change of room because of things like stains, broken furniture, or strange smells. So let's see what we get. We're staying in room 205 on the second floor, and let me give you a quick room tour. So that's our room, and right at the door you can see the sign, which is pets friendly. This hotel is pet friendly. On the right, we have a bathroom, which is pretty plain. You get 2 plastic cups, couple of soaps, bath, and a shower over the bath, towel heater, and look at this. This door cannot even close properly. Look at all of this. It's fallen apart, really. And now into the room. And we asked for 2 beds. So what we've got here is a mirror, an old wardrobe, which has quite plenty of hangers inside, couple of blankets, extra towels, and a fan. The heating is quite good. This radiator is already hot. A few details here. This dust around wardrobe and actually on the wardrobe itself. Okay, next we've got a couple of chairs, a wee table, TV, and a desk. Very worn out. A kettle, couple of cups, and some tea and coffee, which is really important. I only noticed that it's only one, two, three sockets in here. A couple of beds, and let's check the mattress. And it seems okay. Always check for bed bugs, especially in a 3-star hotel. The view. Of course, windows is all dirty. Look at the state of the windows. Unbelievable. It's a beautiful building itself, but the interior is quite horrendous, to be honest. Very, very dated and not clean. This radiator is very, very hot now. We just turned it on about 15 minutes ago. Just to mention, there was no minibar or fridge in the room. However, I did find a hairdryer in the desk drawer, although it didn't look particularly clean. Breakfast and dinner were included in our mystery bus tour, so we had dinner on the day we arrived and breakfast the following morning. Let me show you what was on offer. Lentil soup in here, some rolls, and sauces. Tea and coffee is also available at dinner, and water. So after a quick breakfast, we're back on the bus and ready for another adventure. We left at 9:15 sharp this morning, and David told us already we're heading to Liverpool this morning. So I'm quite curious to see what this city has to offer. I had never been to Liverpool before, so I was really excited to hear that our final stop would be there. It's one of those iconic UK cities we wanted to visit for quite a while, so it felt like a special moment. We didn't have much time to explore, but it was enough to get a first impression, a little taste of what Liverpool is all about. And here we are in Liverpool, another stop for our mystery bus tour. I have about 3 to 4 hours to explore the city before we head back to Glasgow. Liverpool is famous for its maritime history, music and football, and of course the Beatles. So let's see what we can discover in a few hours. My first impression of Liverpool was great. The city is full of grand, imposing buildings and wide open streets, which give it a very distinctive feel. There are some beautiful cathedrals here and even a Chinatown, which adds to the city's character. If you enjoy architecture, you can visit Liverpool Cathedral, the largest in the UK. The cathedral took over 70 years to complete and has amazing view over the city from the tower. Liverpool Cathedral is not only the largest cathedral in the UK, but also one of the longest in the world, stretching an incredible 621 feet or 189 meters. It's also the 5th largest cathedral globally, and its bell tower is among the tallest and largest anywhere in the world. What's really surprising is that this building is actually quite modern. Construction began in 1904 and was only completed in 1978, which means the largest cathedral in Britain is only 48 years old. It was designed by Giles Gilbert Scott, who was only 22 years old when he won the competition. His original design looked very different. It included twin towers and a more eclectic style, but he later redesigned it into the striking Gothic structure we see today. Construction wasn't straightforward. The work was slowed down by both First and Second World Wars. And maintaining a building of this scale doesn't come cheap. It cost around $4 million a year or £11,000 a day to keep the cathedral running. And here's the final interesting detail. The same architect, Giles Gilbert Scott, also designed a famous K6 telephone kiosk, those classic red phone boxes you see across the UK, a true British cultural icon. Wow, what a beautiful cathedral it was. Really enjoyable. And in true British fashion, the rain has started. Well, it was 40% chance of rain, and I didn't take umbrella with me. Left it on the coach. Our next stop was supposed to be the Albert Dock and the waterfront, but unfortunately, there was a half marathon taking place that day, meaning streets were closed and the city center was absolutely packed with people. It was quite difficult to move around, and getting to the waterfront turned out to be nearly impossible. On top of that, the rain started getting heavier, so after a short walk, we decided to change our plans and head to our next destination, the Cavern Quarter. The Cavern Quarter is a lively part of Liverpool city centre, full of buzzing pubs, music venues and Beatles landmarks, including the famous Cavern Club, where the Beatles performed nearly 300 times in 1960s. If you want to go inside the Cavern Club, you do have to pay an entry fee. There are also Beatles-themed shops, a statue of John Lennon, and these two different walls of fame. One with golden records celebrating Liverpool's most successful artists, and another made of engraved bricks, listing the bands who performed at the Cavern Club. And after a few hours exploring Liverpool, it was time to get back on our bus at around 3 p.m. and begin our journey home to Glasgow. As usual, we made a quick stop in Gretna for a short break and arrived back in Glasgow at around 6:30 in the evening. Despite not the best accommodation the night before and rainy weather in Liverpool, we really enjoyed this mystery bus tour, and it definitely won't be our last. So for 2 days, including accommodation, breakfast and dinner, we paid just £79 per person, which I think is really good value. Thank you so much for coming along with us on this trip. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then maybe you will like this one as well. And until next time, bye for now.